Brodes Media.
I am pissed that we're dealing with another meniscus injury with Joel Embiid, yet I am so happy and so juiced thinking of Tyrese Maxey's 51 last night in Utah. Those threes were outrageous. And oh, by the way, he gets his all-star nod. So I want to make sure that Tyrese Maxey gets the appreciation and the love that he deserves, but I can't remove that black cloud that is covering Joel Embiid wherever he walks, no matter if he's at the Jersey Shore, no matter if he's in Center City, if he's at a local park with Arthur. There's something that's following him that won't allow for him to be healthy, and unfortunately, that's going to outweigh the cool Tyrese Maxey story, whether it's right or wrong. So we'll start with the big man, and here we go again, and we could try our very best to pretend like it's not a big deal, and maybe it's not torn like Shams is reporting, and every other mouthpiece is saying that it's just a meniscus injury, not necessarily torn, but then Shams somewhat doubles down, and I find it interesting his wording after he deleted his original tweet that said torn, and he said this: "To clarify an earlier tweet, the team has not officially confirmed a tear and says that Joel Embiid will remain out through the weekend while a treatment plan is finalized." So that's almost somewhat saying, yeah, the Sixers aren't going down that path and confirming it, but this is what I'm hearing. And I wouldn't be surprised if Shams is right after all this. Maybe he's not. I don't know. Maybe I'm going down with the doomsday scenario and everything's all bad and I can never feel optimistic about a Joel Embiid injury. So whatever the worst news that I hear is, I'll probably run with that until proven otherwise. I won't lie to you. That's probably my mentality that I'm working with subconsciously. But how can you not? Because even if he doesn't need surgery and he's back in a month or he's back in a few weeks, I've seen him dominate with a meniscus problem before, but now that becomes the talking point. Now that holds them back. You'll be very uncomfortable. You're basically playing with a limited version of Embiid. I don't want to go through that experience again, so nothing will make me feel better. Even if they go out there and publicly state that it's only going to be a 2-week thing, and I don't expect that to be the case, but I'm just laying out for you how down I am, that even if we get news that it's only a couple-week thing and he'll be back, and I don't expect it, but I still will just be so gutted that we are here. Nothing will change this. And I guess my mentality moving forward, if you put me in the Sixers organization making decisions, is I don't want to see him again until we're a week or two away from the playoffs so he can gear up. I don't care anymore. I believe the best case scenario moving forward would be just rest his ass, don't ask him to do too much, get the meniscus as great as it could possibly be based off of where we are with this predicament, and then we'll give it our best shot when the playoffs come around. And I don't have high expectations anymore. You could tell that he wasn't 100% at that time. It was never as gross as trying to explode off the floor and jump, but your body doesn't work with you, therefore you collapse to the ground. That's what we witnessed his last time when he laced up his shoes. It was never that bad, okay? He might be slow and mopey and trying to get up and down the floor, and you could tell something's bothering him, but never where it actually stops him in his tracks. And yet somehow, some way, the Sixers still let him compete. I'll never comprehend it. I can't even trying to justify it. It makes zero sense. I just need to know what more they had to see before maybe they made an executive decision to get his ass on the bench or to put him back in the locker room so we could stop the bleeding, essentially, right? What more? If it's not falling on his knees because he can't jump, what else is it? And unfortunately, I think the narratives got to him. I truly believe that it was all the talking heads and it was all the Denver Nuggets fans. And shame on the Sixers for allowing that to dictate their decision making. But how could it not be part of the equation? Originally, I thought maybe it was more of they want to keep up pace in the standings because the Knicks are starting to win and the Cavs are jumping you and you're starting to slip. But reality is there was so many people calling him out on a personal level. He tried to prove them wrong, and the Sixers allowed for him to do that. I can't believe Nick Nurse allowed for him to do that. It's a disgrace, and it truly is malpractice from every single angle that you look at it, and now we are here, and it sucks. So this was Shams, who was talking about sort of the path that the Sixers were taking and what Joel Embiid was doing with doctors to try and get an understanding of what's happening with his knee.
The people that I've spoken to in Philadelphia, I don't think they're thinking he's going to be back, in the next few days. This is something where they need to really figure out what's wrong with that knee. Joel Embiid is meeting with a good amount of doctors tonight, tomorrow.
Of course he's talking to a lot of doctors. He's talking to 3, 4 different guys, trying to get all these different opinions, and I get it. That's what you're supposed to do, but if you're doing that, what's it telling you, right? I mean, think about it. If things were good news, are you getting 5, 6 different opinions? Absolutely not. Anytime I hear, especially from the Sixers organization and the Sixers medical staff, anytime that I hear something along the lines of, we will reevaluate in a couple of days and we'll give you more information 48 hours down the road, more times than not, you're getting a disgusting response, and it's not going to be good. And that's why I knew when it was quiet and we weren't getting much on the Embiid front that it would either be a Friday news dump or it'll be a timely report. And of course, here it is, separated right between the Tyrese Maxey All-Star stuff to try and lessen the blow. And it kind of worked because I have a bunch of wholesome content from Maxey, and that's normally not my thing, all right? I'm normally not one that gets all goo gaga over a guy playing NBA basketball. But when you see the natural reaction of Tyrese Maxey, how excited he is, how pumped he is, talking about his family, screaming, his mom super excited, the phone calls that he's gotten, and, he even had an impersonation, or he was doing a reenactment of Joel Embiid and what he sounded like. It's great stuff. There's nothing better. All right, so yeah, the Tyrese Maxey smile and the Sixers agenda of trying to lessen the blow by working their magic and timely throwing out the news about Joel, it did work to a little degree, and Tyrese had their back because that 51-point performance actually did give me a little bit of excitement. I enjoyed it. I was so hurt, and when he's knocking down 6 threes to get the night started before he's even missing shots, he's pulling up from 90 feet, he's step back 3, putting guys on ice skates, dominating at will. I'm like, damn, dude, Maxey's feeling himself. There's no surprise to me that Maxey can dip into his bag and score 51. It doesn't surprise me. But Joel Embiid just scored 70, and he averages how much? And he does this on a night-to-night basis. Maxey would have to do this every single day to reach Joel Embiid's level right now. That sounds as if I'm knocking Tyrese Maxey. That's not the case whatsoever. But for right now to act as if, that he can do what Joel Embiid does on a night-to-night basis is downplaying the greatness of Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is the greatest player on planet Earth right now. Tyrese Maxey's an all-star. There is a big-time separation on those two, and I got to admit that Tyrese Maxey did do some cool things over the last 24 hours that definitely takes away the pain, but whenever I go back to think about it, the pain hits me pretty instantly, and then I realize, Yep, we're right back to where we started, which is another season of Joel Embiid and another season of suffering because he's injured.